Militarization starts from the way you were raised from your family. For a long time in Afghanistan, people have really utilized cultural norms and societal norms in a very, very problematic way to prioritize men and to give men more privileges than women. It starts to make them feel entitled. It starts to make them feel brave and brazen, and really does play a negative role in the ideologies of men. And that's always using the wrong ideologies of religion. It's saying, Islam says that men are the superior gender. Islam says that if you could worship someone else other than God, and if there was an entity you could, it would be your husband. But those are not even the right interpretations of Islam. Afghanistan is not only affected with societal and cultural issues and teachings, they're also facing poverty, economic crisis, issues that poses challenges for men to provide. So when they can't provide, they go and take other opportunities that will help them provide. And if that's taking arms for one extremist group or for another warlord, they will do it. I'm going to pay you 500 avs so you can give your family food for that day. And that's it. It's that simple of a decision. So that's militarized masculinities in Afghanistan. This is the quietest Kabul has ever been at this time of the night.
We are literally at the first gate and they're not letting us in. They're saying that we cannot go through. There's no access.
Today it's our fourth attempt to try to evacuate, and we've had multiple instances where it's been very, very difficult to get to the gate, whether it was the TB checkpoint or the American checkpoint. So today we're hoping that we will be successful and that there will be no harm to our people. Fingers crossed. Please pray for us. Afghan people were frustrated with how they were being exploited. So we were dealing with a very smart but corrupt government institution. They had a lot of access to militarization and weapons. We were not only dealing with that, we were dealing with warlords, and civilians were victims of these kind of militarization. And I think that's what broke the backbone of Afghanistan. That's what created a vacuum where a militarized regime could come and hijack Afghanistan and take over. And now, the new regime we're dealing with, I think we all know exactly how militarized they are. I never thought that the new regime would come and take over the way they did. But that is my home. That is everything I've known. That is everything I've, loved. The way Kabul's soul died on August 15th, I felt like my soul died with it. Currently, I have evacuated to Norway. It was a very necessary decision to make. I never thought that I would be faced with a decision where I would have to willingly, in order to save my life, choose to leave my country. Our country has been hijacked. And yes, we don't have much control over it, but what we do have control over is what we say and who we say it to and how we say it. A dialogue is not always with people that are of similar mentalities. I think it is really crucial that you work alongside men that have very different visions than the stereotype that we, see in Afghanistan. Not all men fit the bill of being violent, abusive, and going for militarization.
It was totally their freedom, to all my choice. I never forced my decision on them. They have a total freedom what to do and where to go. Yeah. Although there are in our society, it's not easy to give such a freedom to the girls.
We're trying to challenge that narrative where men are seen as like the superior gender, and we're trying to have a group of male allies that are promoting feminist peace and promoting the rights of women. So we have our male ulamas, we have our human rights defenders that are men, and we have our, for example, parliamentarians, teachers, professors, students, youth, everyone that would promote the rights of women and support that agenda.
Until the people are not changing their mentality about the woman or about the society as a man against the woman and woman against the man. It's the mentality of the people, and changing the mentality of the people is very difficult.
Yeah, it's hard, but we're working on it still. سرگردانی بسیار زیاد است، که وقتی که شاید یک ذره حالت یک ذره آرام شود، یک ذره سکیوریتی خوبتر شود. شما چی فکر میکنین؟ شما چه قسم کارتون بهتر میتونین پیش برده بتونین؟ آیا میخواین که همین کارها را که شما کردین همیشه دارین که ما شما چه قسم میتونیم که کمک کنیم که همین کارتون بهتر شما پیش برده بتونین و بهتر همین کارتون نتیجه خوبتر داده بتونین؟
بسیار تشکر حریر جان. امید امروزه که چیزی که شما اظهارات کردین در سوالتان خدا کنه که مقصد جامعه عمل با پشتانه یک گپ. دوم گپ ایست که ما امید امروز رسول خدا صلی الله علیه و سلام است که بخوارات دور های علم باش. این علم که است سر مرد زن فرد است. تا در حدیث گفته نشده که علم تنها با مردها فرد است و زنان نیست. یک گپ.
We came up with the idea of working and mobilizing the male ulama after witnessing how influential they are in Afghan society. When ulama says, this is what the Quran says, or this is what God said, people start embodying it, trying to apply it into their life. Sometimes I think that didn't even understand how big of a responsibility they had to Afghan society and to educating Afghan men and Afghan women. It was also Afghan women, and the lack of knowledge of Afghan women regarding their rights from Islamic perspective. They did not want to discuss with an Afghan woman because they thought that she was not well versed in religion, and they thought that this is so inappropriate. And now they're the strongest force we have. They're the force that actually is helping us propel society. Even in the current circumstances, when women cannot go out, when women cannot have their education, it is these male ulamas that will be the face of the conversation.
خدا میگم براتون ما می بچه خدا میگم فامیل تو که لا پشوف نستنین هرچند که ما مسبب است سر مسبب است ولی احساس ما خودتون
از قلب جوان هستن کاکا. These men are showing their solidarity and their support by being the face of our wants, our demands. We have to be a bit more careful. We have to be a bit more cautious of how we approach things, how we do things. And I think that even with all those difficulties and challenges, we still have their support. Afghanistan's had multiple attempts of invasions, and each one has been in a militarized manner, which has played a very direct role on how the country functions today. The people feel that militarization is a very normal concept. We've seen it for so long, we've known it for so long, and we've been witnessing it for so long that a lot of people think that this is the normal. It's not. This is not normal that, different countries come to your nation and they take over by dropping drones or by helping extremists or neighboring countries or giving them the right funding for ammunitions to be sent and given open access to terrorists. That's what has happened. Afghanistan has been a prey and a victim of this kind of game. Militarized masculinity is structural. It's not just structural in the sense of the one nation we're dealing with. It can be global structures that are highly militarized and passed down to these different countries. When you look at other societies, this is not even a concept. But our country and our people, all they know is which other nation tried invading us. Why is Afghanistan called the graveyard of empires? Do you think that's a great thing to be remembered as? No, it's not. But we were forced to be graveyard of empires. We didn't choose to be. We were forced.